But straight up taking it over? Not a lot of so-called reason to that. Unless... Do you think they need it for some other purpose?
Shrug.
Oh, ancient Avarost. You have the obstinacy of a spurned lover who refuses to move on.
Even for you, teacher?
It's this one crucial line. I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, from what you've taught me so far, it looks like it says... Sa, Popo, Mucho, Sancho.
Correct, but if you merely translate it word for word, it ends up saying, the parent hates tomatoes, the child eggplants.
I doubt those have much to do with Innominat. Yeah.
Their grammar is nothing like ours. Sometimes you have to reorder the words, and even then the meaning can require leaps of logic and flashes of intuition.
Reordering? So like... San-san? Pocho Pocho... Pocho Musan, Pocho Musan. Can you read it that way?
Pocho Musan. Now where did you get that from?
These words are lined up, like they repeat. And when I read this part that same way, it just felt right.
Pocho Musan. If that's repeated here, then the passage turns into... the Nameless Empyrean.
Empyrean!
Ho ho, that has to refer to Innominat. I think we're on to something. Alright, so if we apply this rule here, then... It would seem to be a book of children's counting songs.
It's not about Innominat?
What matters is what the song says, child. And I think you will be very interested in the words. I wonder if they've made any progress yet.
Shall we go check on them?
I'm really interested where they're taking this. I'm really liking the story so far.
Well, any results? Yes. Well, thanks to the boy here. As it turns out, he has quite the knack for languages.
Only because I've got the best teacher.
Careful, honey tongue. You'll give this old girl ideas. Huh? Now, child, I'm sure they're curious about the song we unearthed. Why don't you read it aloud?
Yes, teacher.
Song?
Eight-headed is the lord of the land, with 7 mouths to devour malevolence. Through pulses of earth doth base nature's flow, as he awaits the time of awakening. 4 Empyreans may tear him asunder, but so long as there is one receptive to divine power, Therians shall be forever reborn, in sight of the full crimson moon. The nameless Empyrean hath one heart. The nameless Empyrean hath one body.
Therians? Essentially, this ancient text you found is an annotated volume of drawings and songs pertaining to Innominat. Annotated? Then hurry up and just tell us what it means.
I'm sorry. So far, we've only figured out how to read the song lyrics.
All right.
I take it we're still in for a good long wait before it's thoroughly decrypted.
Likely so, but if we want to find out what the Abbey is up to, we need to know what's in this book, no matter how long it takes.
what the Abbey's up to, is it? I think we can learn much, even from the lyrics alone. The drawings depict him with 8 heads. One of them belongs to his main body, but the other 7 are his mouths. Those mouths consume malevolence, sending it along Earth pulses back to that main body so he can awaken. The 7 monsters fitting that description are called
Therians.
Right. Now as for this malevolence, I have no idea what that means.
What about the second part?
I haven't studied much ancient history, but it said this world was created by 4 Empyreans: Earth, Water, Wind, and Fire. But they also call Innominat an Empyrean. Perhaps a war broke out between Innominat and the other Empyreans that resulted in him being sealed away.
But if there is someone to connect with this divine power, the Therians will keep spawning. And just like that, Innominat will be revived. If we assume that Shepherd Artorias fits that bill, and that he's trying to reawaken Innominat, everything lines up.
Which means our job is to find these Therians and cut off Innominat's heads, so to speak.
But where do we even start looking for them?
Remember, the song states that the Therians in Innominat's body are connected through Earth pulses. If their job is to feed Innominat, the most effective place to position them would be at the Earth pulse points.
Points?
The places where the power of Earth pulses is concentrated.
Places with that sigil. Hey, remember the barrier that was keeping this bug in the forest? Wait, are you trying to say that thing's a Therian? And yet, it would explain why the Abbey was keeping it locked up. And there was that same barrier at the villa, too.
That's right. Do you suppose that was also a Therian? Does that mean the Therians all come in different forms?
Should we go to Logres and check?
We've just started deciphering the book. I'd hate to lose time on some fool's errand. I'd rather know at least a little more about what's in it before we make a move.
Something bothering you, Grim?
This line. The one about Therians being forever reborn.
I just felt the same thing as I did in Warg Forest.
The needle's pointing in the direction of Amenoch's temple, Palamedes. Do I recall hearing that the Abbey took that over?
Temples and ritual sites are often built on places thought to be rich in spiritual energy. Could the temple possibly be an Earth Pulse point?
There's lots of Earth pulse points scattered all over the world. If there's only 7 Therians, most of them will be empty.
It's not like we have any better leads. If there's even a chance, shouldn't we go check it out?
Better than sitting around waiting on the book. If nothing else, we'll find out what Laphicet is sensing. Just a theory, but if you were to kill a Therian... What? I guess there's only one way to find out. Never mind. Good luck out there.
I really like the ties it makes to Tales of Berseria.
the innkeeper's daughter. I happened to overhear you all talking about going to Palamedes and...
Did you report us to the Abbey?
Report? But you already have an exorcist with you.
If you have any business, talk with her then.
I'm Eleanor Hume, an exorcist with the Abbey. How might I be of service?
I want you to look for someone. A mother and her child went to visit the Abbey grounds, but they haven't returned.
They've both gone missing?
Yes. The mother's name is Mahina. She's a priestess of Aminoch. And her little daughter's name is Kamoana.
Hold on. If she's a priestess of Aminoch...
Right. Ever since the Abbey booted her out from the temple, she's been regularly going back to make her objections heard. But one day, she never returned home. And now her daughter has disappeared too. I can only assume that she went to go look for her mother.
And you believe they're being held at the temple?
Oh no, ma'am. I just can't imagine Mahina would abandon her daughter like that. Kamoana is next in line to succeed her, so she's had a strict upbringing, but her mother truly loves her. Please forgive Mahina for her protests. I was just hoping you could use the Abbey's resources to track them down.
I will do everything in my power to find them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Like Kamoana, I grew up with only my mother as family. I can't help but worry for them.
Of course.
Let's be off, Miss Exorcist. Eleanor, what's your game here?
The mother and daughter, you mean? That's on me. I'll search for them myself.
I don't care about that.
Well, what then?
Why are you actively helping us decipher the book, when we're using it to thwart the Abbey's plans?
Do you think I might be deliberately misleading you? Laying a trap of some sort for you all?
Are you?
I think you're a lot of things, Demon. But foolish is not one of them. I want to know the truth. I want to know what Lord Artorias is trying to accomplish. And there's something happening in the world right now. I want to know what it is. Unfortunately, little old Eleanor has never been deemed trustworthy enough to be given such information. So, my only option is to find out for myself.
You've got the soul searching down at least.
The Abbey and your band of rogues follow two different paths. But something tells me either will lead me to the same destination.
And so you don't see any need to lie to us?
Exactly.
And what'll you do if those truths don't line up cleanly with what you believe?
I'm not sure yet.
As honest an answer as any. Either way, it looks like you'll be working with us for the near future.
Yes, for now.
Hey, could I ask you something?
What is it?
About the Therians. I've heard you call yourself a Therian before. Is there any particular insight you have about them?
No, none. Artorias said I was one, that's all.
And that doesn't bother you?
Does it bother you?
Nope, not at all. If you're not worried, then neither am I.
I'm surrounded by freaks. But was that truly the reason Ceres chose me?
Velvet keeps picking on Madame Eleanor. They're total opposites, so I know they're just gonna clash sometimes, but Velvet takes it too far.
You really think they're totally opposite?
If Madame Eleanor is a white lily, then Velvet is a black rose.